Hi everyone, I'm Carolyn Douglas. Welcome to UW 360. We're joining you today from the School of Dentistry here at the UW. This school is known as one of the leading and most prestigious dental schools in the country, pioneering dental medical research worldwide. We'll tell you more about why we're here a little later in the show.
We'll also tell you about the University of Washington's economic impact on the state, including some of the volunteer work of staff and students in another Husky Money Moment.
Plus, what happens if there's a medical emergency right in the middle of a Husky football game? UW 360's Aaron Majowski will show us. And reporter Steve Hamilton will explore the historic Fifth Avenue Theater that was once part of the UW's original campus. But first, have you ever wondered where the apps on your smartphone come from? They may have been developed right here at the University of Washington. Making your smart device easier to use is just one of the many challenges students can explore at the UW's new Master's Program in Human-Computer Interaction, or MHCID for short. This unique program is in its second year now, and we sent producer Tess Kearney to see how it sets UW graduates apart from the computer science competition.
Ever wonder what's in an app? Computer science, programming, coding, but also art. As modern technology becomes more usable and intuitive, aesthetics and design become more important to producing beautifully engineered tools with futuristic capabilities. But where can you get a degree in both?
The program is called MHCI plus D, and that stands for Master Degree in Human-Computer Interaction and Design. And that's important because a lot of HCI programs are a bit more technically focused, and our program really strives to incorporate a more traditional or formal visual and interactive design component to the curriculum.
The Masters of Human-Computer Interaction plus Design is a graduate program that was started a few years ago at the UW here in order to focus on that interdisciplinary field and give students a really immersive and intense one-year graduate program experience.
And I think the plus D is important because a lot of programs in HCI really don't incorporate aspects of traditional visual or interaction design in their curriculum, and that's something that we do focus on.
In August 2014, the University of Washington's exciting new master's program, MHCI plus D, celebrated its first group of graduates.
The biggest word I hear from them is confidence. Confidence they feel in the interview, like they really understand the interview questions or the subtleties behind those questions.
We've got people who are working at Amazon, at Microsoft, at Facebook, and a range from full-time roles to freelance roles to contract roles.
This unique program is a product of several disciples merging together in response to the demand for cutting-edge technology and creative, aesthetically pleasing interface.
Part of the original proposal was to recognize that there was a growing demand for this kind of a degree, not only from students, but also from industry looking for people to hire.
This is an immersive, really intense, 11-month start-to-finish kind of experience, and that's a different style than many other graduate programs. Very exciting and, as I said, engaging.
These students have signed up for a specialized education that will prepare them to succeed in the competitive tech industry.
Generally what we do is a mixture of critique of projects and work that they've done in previous classes, and then an in-class kind of hands-on exercise on some new topic.
So I'll begin by defining our problem space.
MHCI plus D has drawn a diverse crowd with prospective students coming from a wide variety of backgrounds and demographics.
There's a whole group of design background, including architecture, graphic design, even fashion design. And then there's also the technological people, the computer science people, and then there's people, I just have to call them people. We have age range, I think, from 23 to 53, people right out of undergrad, and then also people who are mid-career or have had a few years of experience and are realizing their undergraduate degree is fine, but it's a little bit too focused and they need to broaden.
Since the program's first graduation ceremony, grads have already found exciting work in the thriving tech culture surrounding the University of Washington and beyond.
All of them, or almost every single one, has a job, and there's so many opportunities for people to engage in the community beyond the specific formalized program. Inside of Seattle, you have UW, which is a world-renowned institution and is typically in the top 5 in terms of research funding in institutions in the U.S. So it's a great, really rich set of resources here at the University of Washington.
With that being said, I think it's time to go celebrate. Good work, everyone. Woo!
MHCID graduates have already started careers with companies like Amazon, Facebook, and Microsoft, as well as launching startups of their own. When we return, see how BECU and the University of Washington are helping graduates with their finances as UW 360 continues from the School of Dentistry. Welcome back to UW 360 from the School of Dentistry, where, as you can see and hear, students are busy perfecting their techniques. We'll take a closer look a little later in the show.
But first, on this BECU Husky Money Moment, Austin Siedentoff highlights the University of Washington's economic impact on the state, including some of the volunteer work of staff and students.
UW 360's Husky Money Moment is made possible by the generous support of BECU. BECU, more than just money.
Hi, welcome to the Husky Money Moment. The UW released its 2014 Economic Impact Report, independently produced by a national leader in economic analysis. And it found that in 2014, the UW had a $12.5 billion impact on the Washington economy. And this comes from supporting almost 80,000 jobs, the effect of $1.4 billion in research funding, the presence of large institutions like UW Medicine, et cetera, et cetera. It's a really mighty accomplishment and a really big number. But the UW's impact extends just a little bit further.
Most of the impacts come from all different sectors of the university, and the statement, the $12.5 billion, is really a roll-up of all of the operations. And that's the annual current impact for 2014, and that's the largest economic impact of any university that we've ever studied.
While $12.5 billion is very large, it isn't comprehensive.
One of the things that's in addition is all the startup companies. That's in addition. The alumni in the state that make more money and invest more money. And also all of the different charitable programs.
In 2014, UW students, faculty, and staff contributed 465,000 volunteer hours. That's 53 years. And as UW senior Linda Yang can tell you, those hours are often spent doing some pretty incredible things.
So I was volunteering at Neighbor Care Health, and so I figured that I could do something meaningful even though I didn't have like a public health degree. I wanted to be able to do something even though I was still an undergrad.
Linda applied for and won a Jackson Monroe Fellowship by proposing a public service project to work with Neighbor Care Health and provide free diabetes and hypertension screenings for almost 400 people in underserved communities around Seattle.
I don't think I would have had the same role models or the same support if I'd been anywhere else, especially because campus is right in the city. There's a lot to do and a lot of places that are looking for help. We have more resources here, and we have the time, and I think college is the time where you really figure out what you care about and what you're willing to spend the time on and commit to. And so I think for those reasons, the quality of our volunteer and service hours are really impressive.
Her project stands as a perfect example of the kind of incredible charitable work at the UW. Work that just can't quite be summed up by a number.
The UW and BECU will continue to assist students in all areas of finance. Well, every season, tens of thousands of Husky football fans watch their beloved dogs on the field. But a day of football at Husky Stadium isn't just about the team and its fans. It's also about safety and the emergency teams that keep fans and players safe. Recently, one Husky fan found out firsthand just how talented and responsive those emergency teams are. Aaron Myofsky reports on a story that really hits close to home.
Husky fans, arguably the best in the country. One of these fans in this sea of thousands is Paul Mayovsky, a guy who hasn't missed a Husky game in nearly 60 years.
I know a lot about Paul Mayovsky. He's my father, and when I was just 7 years old, he used to take me to Husky games. Now as a sports reporter, I cover the dogs on the field and have my dad in the stands. But earlier this season, all of it nearly came crashing down.
During the Illinois game, I searched for my dad in his seat, the one he's had for years. We always made contact. It was our father-daughter moment on game day. His seat was empty. Little did I know, my dad was dying, suffering a massive heart attack during the first quarter, barely able to walk to first aid.
And I started having this dry cough. And I says, well, maybe it's indigestion. And after a couple of minutes of that, I says, no, this isn't indigestion. And I gathered up my belongings, my seat cushion and my bag, and I hoofed it on up to the first aid station. I knew where it was.
How long has this been going on?
So about 5 minutes or so.
All right.
Well, she immediately sat me down and took my blood pressure, and it went way up. She had already called the EMTs, and before I knew it, they had me in a prone position, and they were sticking IVs in me.
We took our equipment when we went over there, and we saw your dad, and he was not looking good. Very sweaty, very pale, and we put him on the monitor, and that's when we really noticed that he was having some issues.
Paul was rushed to the hospital where he underwent life-saving procedures.
I woke up, and Dr. Wang, the cardiologist, says, we lost you for a little while. You actually were gone.
Many of the medical teams at Husky Stadium are trained and educated at the University of Washington, and the emergency crews at the stadium are all about communication.
We have a system set up here where all of our communication goes to one location, which is in our command post. And whether it's a minor medical issue like a slip trip, something more significant like a heart attack, or even cleaning up a popcorn spill on the concourse, all that communication goes to one location.
This facility is unbelievable. You know, things happen in the stands, and then our people are here to help them. And we just really appreciate your dad and everybody else being here and supporting us, and wish him a speedy recovery.
The next time I saw my dad, he was in the hospital, pale and weak, but always a good Husky attitude. This heart attack didn't slow him down. 6 days later, he was back in his seat, cheering on the dogs. On this game, Paul couldn't help but go back and thank those who saved his life that day. It was a total team effort.
I came up behind him, he didn't see me coming, and I tapped him on the shoulder, and he turned around and looked at me like he'd seen a ghost. He says, you can't be here. I says, well, I am.
So it's always great to actually get the feedback back that he's doing well, that he's back watching his beloved Huskies, and so that's great. That's really good news.
They are lifesavers, and if you're going to have a heart attack, have it in Seattle.
Oh, I'm so happy you're here. I can't even believe it.
Paul Mayovsky, my lucky father, truly a die-hard Husky fan.
Erin tells us her dad is back to feeling 100%. He's exercising every day and looking forward to attending more Husky football games. We'll be right back. Welcome back to UW 360 from the UW School of Dentistry, one of the most prestigious dental schools in the country. We're going to learn more about their RIDE program a little later in the show. But first, did you know the historic Fifth Avenue Theater, located in the Skinner Building, is the largest arts employer in the Pacific Northwest? It employs more than 800 actors, singers, musicians, artists, and technicians who work every season. We sent reporter Steve Hamilton to the Fifth Avenue for a look behind the scenes of one of the best shows in town.
The fact that Seattle's Fifth Avenue Theater lives on a block owned by the University of Washington may be fairly common knowledge. You may be surprised, however, to learn how much more there is to the relationship between these great institutions and the community they share.
I think the combination of the Fifth Avenue as one of America's leading musical theaters, as a nonprofit professional organization, and then the University of Washington as one of the leading theater programs in the country, and now with the addition of the musical theater program at the UW, it really is going to just be a great cross-pollination, I think, between what we do here at the Fifth, what the university is trying to do.
When it comes to the symbiotic relationship between the university and the theater, David Armstrong points to one person who has given tremendously to both sides of the partnership.
I'm Sarah Nash Gates. I'm the costume designer for the production of Carousel at Fifth Avenue Theater. Yeah, sort of from here to here. Yeah. I've been doing costume design since high school. Helping tell the theatrical story by what people are wearing is what appeals to me. It's my passion, yeah.
The Fifth Avenue building, this historic building, is owned by the University of Washington. It's part of their downtown track, the original location of the University of Washington. So in our bylaws, one of our board members has to be associated with the University of Washington. So it made sense for Sarah to come on our board as the chair of the drama department there. So we kept saying, we'd like to have you design a show for us.
While Sarah Nash Gates stands out conspicuously as the result of her years of service to each institution, the Fifth Avenue's commitment to being the Pacific Northwest's largest employer of theatrical professionals is another reason the local scene stays so vibrant. Just ask award-winning lead actor and Spokane native Brandon O'Neill.
I am a testament to their desire to not only hire local actors, but to develop local talent.
We've already have had many students who have graduated and then become professionals and ended up on our stage.
And every show I get to work with Broadway actors, local legends, and I learn from them every show.
If you've never been to a performance at the Fifth Avenue Theater, the reason you have to come is because you will see a level of quality here that you really can't experience almost anywhere in the world.
If you've never been to a performance at the Fifth Avenue, you're in for a treat.
If you've never been to a performance at the Fifth, you are in for a surprise. You're going to see performers that are not just local performers. They are people who've been on Broadway, have done multiple shows on Broadway. You're seeing world-class performers.
For more information about the Fifth Avenue Theater, including show information, just head to the link on our website. When we come back, see how the School of Dentistry's RIDE program is giving folks something to really smile about as UW360 continues. Welcome back, everyone. The UW Dentistry School is lending a helping hand to communities in need of extra dental care with its RIDE program, a program developed by the University of Washington School of Dentistry to address oral health in rural and underserved communities. Producer Rick Garza shows us how it works.
The University of Washington School of Dentistry has developed a unique program called RIDE.
RIDE stands for Regional Initiatives in Dental Education.
Dr. Wendy Moradian has been the driving force behind the RIDE program. It began with a clear goal to make dental care more accessible in Washington State.
RIDE is a mission-driven program. It's to distribute the workforce to rural and underserved areas. And we had 40 years worth of a successful program in the medical school.
To see how the program works, you go to the River Point campus in Spokane.
My background is in biochemistry, molecular biology, and genetics.
It's an academic hub run by RIDE's educational partners, Eastern Washington University and Washington State University.
They are students that have a passion for doing this, for being in a program like this that does serve the needs of the underserved.
The RIDE program is meant to serve underserved and underrepresented communities, and I am from one of those communities. So for me, always wanting to serve my community and giving back, when I found out about the RIDE program and their mission, I figured that I'm a perfect fit for that program.
promoting healthcare in underserved, underprivileged populations and targeting Eastern Washington. I just felt like it was in line with my goals and mission in life, and so coming from the Yakima Indian Reservation, that's where I decided I needed to be in the RIDE program.
According to Dr. Moradian, for some RIDE students, this program plants a seed for service that grows beyond graduation.
And many of them return. Many of our students are working in community health centers or in rural and underserved areas in Washington, but also the region.
Once I graduate, I work at a federally funded clinic because all my dental care when I was younger was at one of those clinics, and all my families are getting care from there.
The RIDE program is attracting national attention as a model for community-based educational experiences. As the need for oral health care rises among the vulnerable, RIDE continues to define its mission to provide quality dental care to rural and underserved areas. And clearly, that mission is making a difference.
To see that what skill you're developing is actually going to contribute to somebody's health, that is so rewarding and so reinforcing. I think it's very important for students to have that experience early, and so that embeds in their mind the notion of, wow, this is why I went into dentistry, to help people.
Thank you. Those experiences help make students more familiar and comfortable in providing dental care to underserved populations, and expose them to practice opportunities in those communities as well. That does it for this edition of UW 360. If you'd like more information on any of the stories you saw today, just head to our website at uwtv.org/UW360. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Carolyn Douglas. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time with all new stories from the University of Washington.